Aldora -7 was a bright, peaceful world, full of tall crystal towers, soft blue skies, and calm cities that floated above the clouds. The Aldari Union was proud of their long history, proud of their knowledge, and proud of their perfect order. To outsiders, the Aldari seemed wise and superior, but inside their council halls, something dangerous was growing: arrogance. For thousands of years, the elders, ancient Aldari with long memories and slow, careful thinking, had repeated the same warning again and again. Do not provoke the humans. Do not deceive the humans. Do not threaten the humans. Most Aldari did not understand these warnings. Many laughed at them. To the young leaders of the Union, humans were nothing more than emotional explorers with simple ships and short lifespans. Humans cried too much, loved too hard, and fought too chaotically. The Aldari believed there was no power in such a species. Humans are harmless, said Counselor Varen, waving away the warning once again. They only travel, study stars, and talk too much. But the elders shook their heads every time. You do not know them, an elder whispered. You have never seen what they become when pushed. No one listened, not until the day disaster began. On a quiet morning, a young Aldari commander named Relis stood inside his patrol ship trying to impress the High Council. He believed courage meant strength, and strength meant action, especially aggressive action. So when a small human science vessel entered Aldari space by mistake, Commander Relis saw it as an opportunity. Capture it, he ordered. His crew hesitated. It is only a research ship, they said. Humans are peaceful. This is not wise, but Relis wanted glory. He wanted to show the council he was bold. Fire warning shots, he said. Force them to stop. What happened next was pure chaos. The human ship panicked. It tried to jump away too fast, too suddenly, and collided with an asteroid fragment. The vessel exploded. Debris scattered across space like broken glass. Inside the council chamber, alarms sounded as reports came in. Relis stood before the council, proud and unshaken. It was an accident, he said, a small ship, no threat. Humans will forgive, but the elders went pale. Forgive? Whispered Elder Shara. You have destroyed a vessel full of their people. Humans do not forget such things. Another elder trembled, gripping her staff. You have awoken them. But the council laughed. What nonsense, Varen said. Humans usually send diplomats, perhaps one tiny ship. Nothing more, and yet even as he spoke, the ground beneath them shook. Deep space scanners around Aldora -7 began to scream. Inside the planetary control tower, technicians stared at their screens with growing horror. A massive energy surge appeared at the edge of Aldari territory. What is that? One technician gasped. A supernova? A star collapsing? No, it's moving. The surge grew larger, brighter, stronger. Dozens of warp signatures suddenly appeared, one after another, until the screens were completely filled with glowing red dots. What is this number? This cannot be a fleet. No species has this many warships. Another tremor shook the tower. Gravity readings spiked. A shock wave rippled through nearby moons, bending their orbits. For the first time in centuries, the skies over Aldora -7 began to darken. The elders rose from their seats slowly, fear covering their ancient faces. It is them, Elder Shara whispered. It is humanity. But the council refused to believe. Impossible. Varen snapped. Humans do not have such engines. They do not command such power. Another technician cried out. The constellation of Vega Line just went dark. Something is blocking the stars. The elders closed their eyes. It has begun, one said softly. Humanity has answered your actions. People across Aldora -7 looked upward. Children pointed at the heavens. Parents froze mid-step. Workers abandoned their stations. Something enormous moved through space, so enormous that it blocked out entire star fields. A shadow, vast and silent, crawled across the sky like a giant curtain. Space bent around it. Light dimmed. A cold pressure washed over the planet. For the first time in their lives, the Aldari felt fear. Not the fear of danger, not the fear of pain, but a deep sinking fear. Fear of a mistake that could not be undone. Inside the council chamber, the elder spoke with shaking voices. You believed humans were like you, an elder said, his voice trembling. But humans are not like anyone. Another elder added, They grow stronger every century. They evolve faster than any species. They do not chase power, but when power is needed, they bring everything. The council finally fell silent. No laughter, no arrogance, only dread. The massive shadow broke apart into individual shapes, warships, thousands of them, command dreadnoughts the size of cities, planetary shield carriers, quantum jump destroyers, strategic bombers glowing with red engines, orbital construction ships, medical fleets, and at the center the terrifying flagship One's Deliverance, larger than any Aldari moon. The Aldari had never seen such force. No empire had. The fleet did not send a friendly message. It did not ask for diplomacy. It sent only one signal, a demand. A single voice echoed across the system. Aldari Union, you destroyed a human ship. Return our people. Prepare for judgment. The room fell silent. The council trembled. Even Commander Relis went pale. And the elders whispered the truth. Now you understand. Humans do not start wars, but they always finish them. The Aldari Union had expected many things after the destruction of the human science vessel: a message of anger, a demand for compensation, maybe a small human shuttle carrying a few diplomats. They expected small things because they believed humans were small things. What arrived shattered that belief forever. On the outer edge of Aldari territory, the darkness of space suddenly tore open. It looked as if a giant, invisible claw had sliced the fabric of reality itself. Blue lightning crackled across the tier. Waves of warped gravity rippled outward, shaking asteroid belts and bending distant starlight. Aldari scanners screamed warnings. Unknown jump signature, power levels beyond known limits, object size too large to calculate, recalibrating, then something enormous pushed through the tear. A ship, no, a fortress, the first human dreadnought, emerged like a metal mountain drifting through space. Its hull shined with dark armor plates each, one thicker than an Aldari cruiser. Massive engines glowed like miniature suns. And that was only the beginning. Another ship followed, and another and another. Within seconds, dozens of human vessels entered the system, each one larger, stronger, and more advanced than anything the Aldari military had ever seen. Aldari citizens watched the sky darken as the fleet appeared overhead. Even daylight dimmed under the shadows of passing ships. The council chamber erupted in panic. This is impossible. Humans do not have this kind of fleet. Where did they get such power? One elder answered softly, they earned it, as the fleet assembled. Aldari observers identified each type of ship with growing dread: command dreadnoughts, floating fortresses armed with weapons that could split moons, planetary shield carriers, massive ships that could deploy full atmosphere force fields, orbital construction ships, covered in scaffolding arms capable of building a city or ripping one apart, strategic bombers, sleek and deadly, their engines burned red like fire in space, and at the center of it all, emerging slower than the rest, was a ship so large that the stars behind it vanished. The humans called it the flagship of humanity, a colossus, a ship that looked more like a drifting continent than a vessel. When it fully crossed through the tear, Aldari gravity fields trembled under its presence. Even the elders could not hide their fear. We warned you, Elder Shara whispered. We warned you what would happen if humanity was ever provoked. The Aldari military panicked. Fighters scrambled. Warships charged their weapons. Planetary defense stations activated shields. But the human fleet did not fire. They simply took formation around Aldara 7, like a silent, unbreakable wall, blocking all escape routes and creating a sphere of containment. The silence was worse than an weapon. It was the silence of a predator that did not need to roar. The elders felt the pressure of something they hadn't felt in centuries, the presence of a superior force. A communication channel opened automatically on every Aldari device, every council screen, every military visor, every civilian broadcast. A human admiral appeared. Her uniform was dark and simple. Her eyes were steady and calm. Her expression was pure iron. When she spoke, her voice carried across the entire system. Aldari Union, you destroyed a human research vessel. The chamber fell silent. You took our surviving crew. Counselor Varen swallowed hard. They were taken for study. Standard scientific procedure. The Admiral did not allow him to finish. Your procedure stops now. Return our people immediately. You have 1 hour. The message ended. The screen went black. No threats, no insults, no shouting. A simple fact, 1 hour. Inside the council chambers, chaos exploded. We never intended to keep them long. We must send them back. We must negotiate. We must hide what we did. The elder stood still, refusing to join the panic. You cannot negotiate with them now, Elder Shara said slowly. You should have listened before. Now the humans have come with everything they are. Counselor Varen paced wildly. Why send an armada? Why send dreadnoughts? We only destroyed one small ship, small to you the elder, said. Not to them. The council was terrified, but the truth was far worse. They couldn't return the prisoners quickly because the humans had been taken to a hidden facility, a research lab many council members pretended did not exist. Worse still, those humans were still alive, and they had seen everything. As Aldari leaders argued, humanity's fleet drifted forward as one, silent, steady, unstoppable. Aldari citizens watched from their cities as giant human silhouettes passed overhead, blocking more and more of the sky. A sense of doom spread. Are they going to attack us? Will they destroy Aldora 7? Why do humans look so cold, so prepared? Children cried. Parents hid them indoors. Military commanders screamed orders that no one could follow. Human communications remained silent, which terrified the Aldari even more. At last, Elder Shara stepped into the council center and raised her staff. Enough! Sit! The council reluctantly obeyed. Her voice shook, not with fear but with age. You called humans weak. You called humans emotional. You called humans primitive. She looked at the fleet outside the windows. Thousands of ships glowing with power, and now their armada covers your sky. Now their shadow falls over your world. Now you understand their true nature. She looked at Varen and Relis directly. Humans are slow to anger, but once angered they arrive with everything. The chamber fell silent. The hour was nearly half gone, and the human fleet waited, like a storm holding its breath, because when humanity comes completely. The human fleet did not fire a single shot. They did not shout. They did not threaten. They simply waited, and that was far more frightening. Inside the Aldari Council chamber, the leaders argued loudly, trying to decide what to do. Their voices echoed against the tall crystal walls, panicked and trembling. We must send a message. Tell the humans it was an accident. Offer them compensation. Elder Shara watched the chaos with sad, tired eyes. You will not calm them with words, she whispered. Humans do not come with fleets this large for conversation. But her warning went unheard again. A sudden alarm shook the chamber. New contacts, a technician shouted. Small objects leaving the human fleet, hundreds of them, holograms flick. Cared, showing tiny silver dots spreading through the system. At first the Aldari thought they were missiles, but no, they were too quiet, too smooth, too controlled. Drones, Elder Shara said, and not simple ones. These are human reconnaissance drones. They see everything. The drones flew past Aldari border stations without slowing. They crossed shield walls without resistance. They sliced through encrypted networks like warm air through fog. Within minutes, every Aldari security system was in chaos. Our satellites just shut down. We're losing communication towers. Who authorized remote access? No one had. Humans had simply taken it. Inside the hidden research base on Aldari Moon Velis -9. Alarms screeched as human drones breached the outer walls. Scientists and guards panicked. They found us. How did they locate the facility? It's not even on the records. This shouldn't be possible. The drones spread through hallways, mapping the base, scanning faces, searching room by room. They reached a locked cell. Inside, 3 human researchers sat chained to the wall, injured, exhausted, but alive. They looked up as the drones cut through their restraints. Your fleet is here, one drone projected in calm text. You are safe now, the humans cried with relief. Back on Aldora, -7. The council chamber darkened as a hologram suddenly appeared in the center of the room. A human officer stood in the projection, tall, calm, and expressionless. Behind him, the image of the rescued prisoners flickered. He spoke in a voice without anger, without softness, without hesitation. Aldari Council, we found our people, alive. Counselor Varen tried to smile. That is wonderful news. Surely we can now discuss. The officer overrode him. You lied to us. The chamber froze. You hid their location. You moved them. You attempted to study them without consent. Every Aldari leader lowered their eyes. This was your final mistake. The hologram ended abruptly. No time for questions, no space for defense. The message was simple. Humanity was done listening. A low hum filled the sky, not loud, just a deep vibration that Aldari citizens felt in their bones. People looked up. The human dreadnoughts were glowing. Lines of white energy crawled across their hulls like lightning trapped under metal skin. "What are they doing?" someone whispered. A single, terrified technician answered, "They are charging their weapons." Inside the council hall, a guard ran in breathless counselors. Humanity is activating their gravity lances. All color drained from Varen's face. Gravity lances were rumored weapons, myths, ships so powerful they could split continents, bend oceans, or crack a planet in half. No, Varen stuttered. They would not dare, but the skies said otherwise. Shadows swept across the city, not clouds, not nightfall, but ships, human shield carriers, moved into position over Aldora -7, linking together to create a massive reflective barrier. It cast darkness over the world as they prepared for potential counterattacks. The entire planet dimmed, streets darkened, homes grew quiet, children cried as stars vanished behind the vast ships. From the balcony of the council tower, Elder Shara watched the darkness settle. "This is the price of arrogance," she whispered. "You believed." Humans were weak, but humans only appear weak until they choose not to be. Her staff shook in her hands. "We were supposed to guide you, but you would not listen." Inside the chamber, chaos exploded again. "Send the prisoners back immediately. Send gifts. Send peace treaties. They will destroy us. We must launch our fleet." Launch a fleet? Their ships were nothing compared to this. Elder Shara slammed her staff on the floor. "See, Lens." Every voice stopped. She stepped forward, her old eyes blazing. "You cannot fight them. You cannot run from them. You cannot hide the truth anymore." She pointed out the window, where human ships covered the sky. "They are here because you lied, because you ignored every warning, because you believed arrogance was strength." Her voice broke slightly. "And now the humans believe something too, that you cannot be trusted." The council hung their heads. "What will they do to us?" Varen whispered. The elder answered honestly, "That depends on their mercy and how much mercy they have left." In space, the human fleet reached full power. Gravity lances glowed bright white. Bombers aligned in perfect formation. Carrier bays opened. Troop transports prepared to deploy. Aldari soldiers stood frozen at their stations, watching the doom over their sky. Every citizen held their breath. Every elder whispered a prayer. Every counselor felt their pride collapse. Humanity had not come to negotiate. Humanity had come for answers. And if those answers were not given, Aldora 7 would face the consequences. Because the elders were right. Humanity does not start wars, but they always finish them. When the human fleet reached full charge, every Aldari across the planet felt it. Even inside sealed homes, deep tunnels, or floating cities high above the clouds. A low vibration spread through the foundation of Aldora 7, like the heartbeat of something ancient waking up. The skies dimmed, the stars vanished, and silence covered the planet like a heavy blanket. The Aldari Council stared helplessly at the giant human flagship, on Sol's Wrath, hanging above them like a dark moon. Every elder understood what this moment meant. Humanity had lost patience. Inside the council chamber, fear grew like wildfire. What are they going to do to us? Will they destroy the planet? Will they attack our cities? Elder Shara closed her eyes, feeling the tremble in the floor. "No," she whispered. "Humans do not punish the innocent. They punish systems." But none of the leaders understood what she meant until humanity made their first move. It began with a sound that wasn't a sound, a sudden, absolute quiet. Aldari pilots sitting in their warships began to panic. First, "My console is dead. Engines offline. We're drifting. Someone help." Screens went black. Engines stopped humming. Weapons went cold. Across the entire planetary orbit, every Aldari military ship shut down at the same time. No explosions, no violence, just silence. Humanity had turned off their entire fleet with a single invisible wave. Aldari commanders screamed in helpless confusion. How are they doing this? We have countermeasures. This is impossible, but it was already done. On the planet's surface, the defense tower network tried to activate. Lights flickered along tall metallic structures designed to protect the Aldari from invasions. But then, one by one, each tower sparked, fizzled, and shut down. "H headquarters!" a soldier yelled. "Our shield arrays just went offline. Every city is exposed, every defense station, thousands of towers fell dark." The Aldari had believed themselves protected, untouchable, too advanced for threats. Humanity erased that belief with one silent command. Elder Shara watched the city's shield barrier fade around the council palace. "This is their warning," she said quietly. "They are showing us what they can do, without killing a single person, high above the planet." Aldari orbital cannons attempted to lock onto human ships, but they fizzled out before powering up. Their targeting systems rebooted again and again in useless loops. One panicked operator yelled, It's like our weapons are refusing to obey us, human." AI had hacked their systems faster than a thought. With every moment, the Aldari realized how small they truly were. Then came the final blow. Human ships released a wave of shimmering blue light. It spread across the surface like a soft, glowing mist. The Aldari had milliseconds to wonder what it was then. Everything went dark. Homes, business towers, skylines, factories, hospitals, mag-rail networks, floating cities, all of it shut down. Entire generators died at once. Power grids collapsed in seconds. The planet's lights flickered and disappeared. Aldora 7 became a world of shadows. Children screamed. Parents held them tight. Citizens ran into streets, confused and terrified. Aircraft fell from the sky, but humanity caught them with gravity stabilizers, lowering each craft safely to the ground. Not a single person died. Humanity had shut down an entire civilization without harming one life. That was the moment the Aldari truly understood. Humans were not weak. Humans were not emotional amateurs. Humans were not simple explorers. Humanity controlled forces. The Aldari did not even comprehend. Their pride collapsed in an instant. A beam of bright light shot down from Unsal's wrath, linking directly into the council chamber. A hologram appeared. The human admiral. Her expression was calm, not angry, not shouting, just disappointed. Her voice echoed across every Aldari device, every home, every speaker, even ones without power. Humans had overridden everything. Aldari Union. We have retrieved our people. We have seen what you tried to hide. The council trembled in silence. You will stand down. You will return everything taken from us, and you will prepare for judgment. The message ended with 4 words that shook the planet. Your time is over. The skies lit up again, not with weapons, but with drop pods, thousands of them, black metal cylinders streaked down through the atmosphere, leaving trails of fire behind them. Aldari citizens ran for shelter. The humans are invading. They're going to kill us. Save the children. But the elders watched quietly. No, Elder Shara whispered. These humans do not come to destroy. They come to take back what we stole. Drop pods slammed into the ground. Hatches burst open. Human Marines in advanced exosuits stepped out. They did not attack civilians. They did not fire weapons. They did not destroy buildings. They moved calmly and precisely through the capital, like shadows with purpose. Within minutes, the Marines reached the hidden prison where the human scientists had been kept. They broke open the doors. The prisoners, weak and shaken, looked up in disbelief. "You came for us," one whispered, voice cracking. A Marine nodded. Always, they carried the survivors out gently, protecting them with armored shields. Not a single Aldari civilian was harmed. Humanity had achieved total victory, without firing on the innocent. From the council tower, the elders watched the Marines escort the rescued humans back to their drop pods. Counselor Varen collapsed into his seat. What kind of species does this? They crushed our entire defense, but killed no one. Elder Shara answered softly. A species that can destroy you completely and chooses not to. She turned toward the dark sky where the human fleet glowed above. You ignored the warnings. You saw their kindness as weakness. You believed their patience meant powerlessness. Her voice trembled with sadness. And now it is too late. The Aldari waited in terrified silence as humanity completed the extraction of their captured researchers. The entire planet of Aldora 7 lay dark, its cities powerless, its ships drifting, its defenses dead. No explosions, no destruction, just a world frozen. By a single human command, the Council expected death. The military expected annihilation. Citizens expected the sky to fall. But humanity did not fire. Instead, the giant human flagship, On Solace Wrath, opened a communication channel, one that forced itself onto every screen, every data pad, every public display on the planet. A hologram of the human admiral appeared, cold, calm, and impossibly steady. Her voice echoed across the world, Aldari Union. You have shown dishonor, but humanity does not destroy without cause. These words confused everyone. No one understood why humans, who clearly had the power to crush them, were choosing to speak instead of attack. The admiral continued, but we do not tolerate deceit. You will reform your laws. You will end forced experimentation on other species. You will dismantle illegal labs, and you will stand accountable. The Aldari Council shivered. Never had a foreign species spoken to them like this, like a judge delivering a sentence. This was not war. This was judgment. Inside the council chamber, every leader sat frozen. Councillor Varin, once arrogant, now looked small and weak. His voice cracked as he whispered, What does stand accountable mean? Elder Shara answered softly, It means you will obey, or they will return. Her eyes were sad, not angry. It was the sadness of someone who had warned them for centuries. And if humans return in anger, she added quietly, our world will not survive. Varin swallowed hard. So this is mercy? Yes, the elder said. And you do not deserve it. What happened next shocked the Aldari more than anything. Human engineers, still aboard their distant megaships, began transferring power back to Aldora 7. Lights flickered on across cities, homes warmed again, hospitals rebooted, floating towers regained stability and stopped drifting. A technician cried with relief as Ma. Chimes restarted. The humans are repairing our infrastructure. No enemy had ever shown such control, such precision, or such restraint. Human engineers transmitted calm instructions. Do not touch your systems. We are restoring them safely. Within minutes, the planet glowed again. But the Aldari understood the message. Humanity could turn everything off again just as easily. As power returned, human medical ships descended. They released shimmering pods that drifted gently into Aldari cities. Each pod opened into a temporary clinic staffed by human medics and drones. The Aldari were stunned. Humans were helping their wounded, even though the Aldari had hurt them first. One Aldari nurse whispered, they came with an armada. And now they bring medicine? A human medic smiled gently. Strength means protecting life, not ending it. Those simple words traveled quickly through the crowds, and the galaxy would remember them. When the repairs finished, the human admiral appeared once more. This time her tone was not angry. It was firm, final, unshakable. Aldari Union, you attacked our people. You lied. You hid your crimes. No one dared breathe. We answered with force, but not with destruction, because destruction teaches nothing. Councillor Varin found courage to speak. What do you want from us now? The Admiral's eyes bore into him. We want you to change. The chamber fell silent. Humanity, who could have ended them, wanted change instead of abomination. That realization struck deeper than any weapon. While the council shook with shame, the elders stood tall. Elder Shara stepped forward and addressed the humans on their hologram. Your mercy honors your strength, she said. You ask not for tribute or land, but for responsibility. The Admiral bowed her head respectfully. A peaceful galaxy requires just hearts. Shara nodded. You have shown us what we forgot, that power is not for pride, power is for protection. The council stared at her, finally understanding the warnings they had ignored for centuries. Humans do not conquer, Elder Shara declared loudly, so every leader could hear. Humans correct. The phrase spread through the chamber like a wave. It felt true. It felt heavy. It felt final. The Admiral delivered humanity's terms. All illegal research labs must be permanently shut down. All imprisoned alien captives must be released immediately. A new Aldari Council must be formed, one that includes elders. A human envoy will remain to ensure reforms succeed, Any future aggression toward humanity will result in full planetary lockdown. There were no threats. There didn't need to be. The Aldari had seen what humans could do. Human ships began slowly powering down their weapons. Gravity lances dimmed. Shield carriers withdrew from low orbit. The colossal UN Sol's wrath drifted further back. Humanity wasn't going home yet, but they no longer hovered like executioners. They hovered like teachers, guardians, watchers. On the streets, Aldari civilians watched the sky with mixed emotions. Some were afraid, some were humbled, some were grateful, but all understood the truth. Humanity could have ended their civilization. Instead, humanity rebuilt it. As dawn rose again over Aldora 7, its first dawn since the blackout, Elder Shara stood on the balcony of the council tower, watching sunlight brighten the horizon. The human envoy ship floated, quietly above the clouds, shining gold in the morning light. A young Aldari officer asked, "Elder, what are the humans now? Enemies? Protectors?" Shara smiled softly. "They are a reminder of what? That kindness is not weakness, that patience is not surrender, that mercy is not fear." She looked toward the stars, and a reminder that when humanity acts, the galaxy listens. News traveled faster than ships, faster than light, faster than fear. Within hours, the story of what happened on Aldora 7 spread across every star system. Not a rumor, not a warning. A broadcast released by human ships themselves and shared openly, almost proudly. The galaxy watched in stunned silence. Footage played of the moment humanity disabled the entire Aldari defense network with a single pulse. Clips showed Aldari warships drifting helpless in space. Images showed human Marines rescuing their prisoners without harming a single civilian. And the most shocking part appeared again and again. Humanity did not attack the Aldari population. Humanity did not destroy their cities. Humanity did not conquer their world. Instead, humanity restored their power, healed their wounded, and left behind only a warning. In the Vorlon Dominion, a race of reptilian warlords watched the footage with open jaws. "Humans shut down a whole civilization," one muttered. "But they killed no one," another whispered. The Vorlon leader frowned deeply. "Mercy with power. That is the most dangerous kind of strength. In the gentle Penthari Republic, diplomats sat in a round chamber, shocked. They came with an armada, but they used it only to save their own people. They punished the council, not the civilians. That kind of precision is terrifying." A Penthari elder leaned forward quietly. "No," he said, "that kind of precision is admirable." In the lawless outer systems, smugglers stared at human screens. Humans can knock out an entire fleet without firing. We better avoid their patrol routes. Fear was spreading. Respect was spreading faster. The Taurian Alliance, longtime human partners, watched the incident with mixed emotions. They knew humans were strong. They knew humans were determined. But even they had never seen the full power of humanity activated in this way. A Taurian commander shook his head. "We thought humans were equal partners." He paused, voice trembling. "But we have never seen them fight for their own this fiercely." Another replied, "Humans are peaceful until they are not. Now the galaxy sees it too." The Aldari spent the next days repairing their systems under human supervision. The elders guided the rebuilding process. And for the first time in a century, the people listened to them. Elder Shara watched city lights return across the horizon. She felt both grief and relief. Her young student, Laren, stood beside her. "Elder, why did humans spare us? The council betrayed them. We hurt their people." Shara sighed. "Because humans understand pain. They understand loss. They understand darkness and how to rise from it." Laren frowned. "So humans are our enemies?" Shara shook her head. "No. Humans are a mirror." "A mirror?" "Yes, they reflect what you give them." She looked at the sky where human ships once hovered. "If you give them peace, they return peace. If you give them kindness, they return kindness. If you give them harm," she breathed deeply, "they return justice." Laren shivered. "Then we were lucky they chose justice, not revenge." Shara nodded. "Very lucky." Before leaving Aldari space, the human admiral appeared one last time on every Aldari device. This time she did not look stern or disappointed. She looked tired but calm. Her final words became a lesson for the whole galaxy. "We desire peace. We seek cooperation, but do not mistake our kindness for weakness." Her eyes softened. "Protect those under your care, respect other species, and listen when your elders speak." And then her final sentence echoed across the stars. "If you choose truth, you will find us beside you. If you choose harm, you will find us against you." With that, Unsol's wrath turned toward deep space. The fleet aligned. Quantum gates opened like bright rips in reality. One by one, the human ships vanished into shimmering light until Aldora 7 was silent again. Days turned into weeks. Aldora 7 glowed once again with rebuilt cities, renewed hope, and humbled leadership. The elders were restored to positions of honor. The corrupt council members were removed by their own citizens. Illegal research labs were dismantled. Alien captives were freed. New laws were written to ensure respect and fairness. A new council, chosen by both people and elders, held its first meeting. For the first time in centuries, Elder Shara stood at the center seat. "We rebuild not because humans forced us," she said, "but because they reminded us who we should have been." Her words touched every heart. Across the galaxy, the new rumor spread: "Do not provoke humans. Do not test their mercy. Do not push them into war." Other species who once mocked humanity now spoke in careful tones. They are protectors. They are warriors. They are judges. They are the blade and the shield. But the elders knew the truth better than anyone. Humans are balance. Humans are justice. Humans are peace, until peace is broken. One evening, as the sun set over Aldora -7, Elder Shara gathered the young and old in the great hall. She spoke the words she had waited her entire life to say. "We warned you about humanity. You did not listen. And so the galaxy learned the truth the hard way." She lifted her staff. "Now we understand. And now the galaxy will never forget." Outside, the night sky shimmered with peaceful stars, and somewhere in the distance a human fleet traveled quietly through the void, watching, waiting, protecting. Humanity had not come as conquerors. They came as guardians, and the galaxy would remember them forever.